Hey, welcome back to the Transcendent Legacy channel. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. My name is Rob Walker, and I help aspiring leader entrepreneurs develop their mindset and business skills to win in business and in life. And today, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to improve your self-awareness as a new leader. I believe in bringing value in every video. So if you don't already have it, grab your pen and pad if you want to take notes. I must say, I believe that in order to be an effective leader, you must first be self-aware. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why self-awareness is so important and share with you 5 ways that you can improve your self-awareness as a brand new leader. So why is self-awareness so important? Self-awareness is important because you have to know you. As a leader, you have to know your values, your beliefs, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Before you can lead others, you must first learn to lead yourself. And although this may be common sense, leading a team or organization is not one size fits all. Each person on your team is dynamic, which means you have to relate to each person differently based on their individual needs and where they are in life. For instance, you wouldn't engage someone who just graduated college the same way you would engage someone who's married with a wife and kids. Their life experiences are different, and their priorities and interests, I would also assume, are very different. As a new leader, you'll want to get to know each one so that you can properly know how to communicate in a way that helps them positively respond to your leadership style. This is where your level of self-awareness should kick in. What are your strengths and how do you play to those strengths? What are your weaknesses and how do you compensate for those deficiencies? You'll want to start thinking in this way until this becomes second nature for you. Let me go ahead and give you 5 ways you can begin to improve immediately, like tomorrow. The first way is to start with the journal. In this journal, this is where you'll begin to answer some of those questions that we talked about earlier. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my goals? What are my visions? What are my emotions towards being a new leader? These are the types of things that you'll write down in this journal. I would even go as far as to write down things that make you feel uncomfortable, such as having hard conversations or anything tied to your new role. This journal will be something that you can reference time and time again. The other benefit is you'll begin to see your growth and evolution in real time. And it's something that's tangible. And this is a huge confidence builder, especially for a new leader. The second way that you can begin to build your self-awareness is to read books. And what I like about books is books tend to open us up in a very non-confrontational way. So when you read a book, you might read something and you'll say, you know what, that sounds like me. Or that's something that I know that I need to work on. And a book will begin to help you take those next steps that you need in order to work on whatever it is that you need to get better at. And as a new leader, I would encourage you to utilize books in such a way that it helps you to recognize those blind spots that we all have as leaders. I know I need to work on this. I know I need to work on these next set of steps. And here's how I'm going to make those a part of my daily checklist or my daily priorities. The third way to begin to increase your self-awareness is to delegate a peer. And as crazy as that may sound, a peer being somebody that you're sort of in the trenches with, you're both doing the same job, you guys both have maybe like the same leader or the same workload or the same type of work commitments. That person, especially if they're a little bit further along than you are, can say, change your calendar a little bit. Or if you relinquish some of the responsibilities onto your associates and have them help you out in such a manner that it takes some of the pressure off of you. Sometimes just having a peer who's further along in the process that can see a little bit further than you, they can then come back to you and tell you some areas that you might be able to get stronger at. And it's a very non-confrontational, motivational way for you to take those next steps that you're looking to make. I've done that, and for me, that was actually a very positive experience. It was people that I trusted, and because we were peers, we were able to relate in a lot of ways. And so that being a third way where your level of self-awareness is still growing, they can see those areas, those blind spots that I alluded to, and they can help you identify how to fix those blind spots. The fourth way to improve your self-awareness is to get a mentor. I highly recommend that everyone have a mentor, especially starting off as a new leader. Absolutely, I actually don't know why as a new leader you wouldn't already have a mentor, but if you don't have one, please seek one out. The benefits of having a mentor is it's someone that you can trust, and you can tell them all about yourself. You can tell them all about your fears and your anxieties. You can tell them the areas where you're struggling. You can tell them areas where your greatest strengths lie, and they can begin to help tailor a plan for you to help you get better in those areas where you may have some deficiencies. I remember early on in my leadership career, my mentor was everything to me. I leaned on him so hard, and he always made himself available to me. And that's the other part about having a mentor. They know where you are and they want to help. So my mentor, he lived at a distance from me, but whenever I would call, he would pick up the phone. Whatever I was going through, he had already been through, and he always gave me advice that I felt was constructive, and it wasn't designed to tear me down in any way, only build me up. Having a mentor, someone that you can meet with on a regular basis, whether it's by phone or a video chat or sit down for coffee, coffee chats are the best. And these are times where you can express your frustrations or things that you're sort of thinking about doing, but you're not quite sure if it's the right way to go. Having a mentor to bounce ideas off of is so vital. So like I said, if you don't have one, I would say get one immediately, because it's going to be a game changer for you as a new leader. And last but not least, number 5 is to get feedback from your team. As you're trying to grow in the area of self-awareness, what better way than to get the information directly from the people who you're overseeing? The only thing I would say is this can be challenging. It can be difficult because these are the people that you're managing on a day-to-day basis. You may think that you're doing a great job, and you may get feedback that may make you feel that you're not doing as well as you could be, and it's going to be hard to hear. But the best part about doing that is, as a leader, you're constantly evolving and you're constantly growing and changing. And if you want to grow and change fast in a good way, then hearing feedback directly from the people that you're overseeing is the best way to go about it. I remember when I did that, I kind of did it through more of like a questionnaire, but I've also done it in team meeting settings where I ask for that feedback, that constructive criticism. Hey, am I providing you guys with everything that you need in order to be successful? What ways can I get better? At what ways am I letting you down? Am I letting you down? Any of these types of questions are questions that you can begin to ask. And as a new leader, your job is to grow your team, but it's also to grow yourself. So while you're growing yourself, you put these responses down, and then you begin to work on them one by one. Or, like I alluded to, having a mentor, you can get with that mentor and say, hey, this is the feedback that I got. How can I begin to work on these things? I found all of that to be extremely beneficial in some of the leadership roles that I've held. And just to make sure that we didn't miss anything, let's just do a quick recap. So number 1, journal. Getting a journal allows you to write down all of the different things: strengths, weaknesses, visions, goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, emotions, areas where I'm strong, areas that I still need to grow in. All of those things can be written down in your journal and referenced at a later time. 2, reading books. Like I said, reading books will open you up and will expose you to the person that you are, not the person that you think you are, and you can begin to make those immediate changes. Like I said, books are very non-confrontational, definitely the right way to go. 3rd was to delegate a peer, somebody that is sort of in the trenches with you, kind of going through the same things that you're going through or have already gone through some of the things that you're currently going through. Having a peer that you can bounce ideas off of is always a great way to go in the area of self-awareness, just because they may see something that you're unable to see, maybe in a moment, like in a meeting with other bosses or whatever it may be. Having a peer that you trust can definitely help. Fourth, we said getting a mentor. Having a mentor, somebody that you can lean on and go to, and they know you and they know how to get you to that next level, and they're there to provide constructive feedback so that you can become a better leader in the areas where you're most efficient. And 5, we said to get feedback directly from your team. And like I said, that may be rough at first because you may hear some things that you're not ready to hear, but as a new leader, you need to hear them. That way you can begin to make those adjustments. And I promise you, once you hear what your team says, it's only going to help grow you and grow you faster and quicker so that you can overcome those deficiencies. If there's feedback that you've received or that you will receive that doesn't kind of fit the mold that you think that you've been as a leader, accept it, dwell on it, ponder it, and see what ways you can be better. Like I said, my goal was to provide value for new leaders. And so I hope these 5 steps help in the area of self-awareness. With that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and peace.